Hi guys, it seems that we are live at the moment. I'm just waiting for a few of you to join the stream and then we'll begin. So at the moment we're showing 0 people watching. It is a room all to myself. Hey, we got our first 2 people. Who have we got? Type your name in the chat now. Little security point, please don't post your full name. Your name on this chat from now on is just your first name followed by your year group. So please, no posting your full name, just your first name followed by your year group is all I need to know. Excellent. Got a few people coming up in the chat there. Good to see you guys. Hi, Karina. Hi, Jotsana. Right. Okay. So we've got. This is only slightly scripted, and this is a very new experience for me. So I apologize if this is a little bit rambly, but this is kind of an unprecedented way for me to have to teach, but this is the situation we now find ourselves in, and that's cool. We need to make the most of it. So obviously we don't know how long this whole situation is going to last, but the key thing is really try to make the most of this way of learning. It's really important for you guys. So obviously talking to P6 in particular here, you guys are on your way up to P7. You've got a lot of preparation to do in time for that, and then it's going to be off up to high school. So this really can't afford to be time off for you guys. You really need to be taking your learning as seriously as you can over this period. And I know it's not the same as being in school, but we're going to try and provide you with the highest quality educational experience that we can give you in these circumstances. We're really privileged to have an education system that allows us to do this, and that's try to put some of these contingency measures in place. So, yeah, really, I think we're potentially in quite a good position here. However, all that being said, it's really important to take your safety seriously in this time. So the government's giving us advice to self-isolate as much as possible. And I would like to hear you guys taking that seriously. That is really important. Just before I move on, I think it's important just to say a couple of points of thanks to people. Obviously, the last week for us teachers was quite an interesting time. It's one of the more interesting situations that we've had to deal with. All of my colleagues in Davison's Mains were absolutely fantastic. The kids were really, really understanding because we were all a little bit stressed, and the parents have been fantastic in showing their support. So thank you all for doing that. That's really, really appreciated. But more than anything, I think it's probably important to acknowledge the people that are still in a position of working. So NHS staff, supermarket workers, really important that we show our respect to these guys because they really are the frontline workers now. Anyway, to work stuff. This week, we're going to be posting work from tomorrow. So you do kind of have a bit of a day off today, in a way. We're going to be doing all our planning and preparation today for this week. And from tomorrow, you'll be able to get on and actually do some of that work. There'll be 3 activities posted pretty much every day. So you'll have a literacy activity, maths activity, and some other curricular area. Now, all of this is going to be shared on Microsoft Teams. If you're having trouble getting into that, there is a video that I have on my main channel at the moment that explains how to get onto that effectively. Each day, every day, I would like you to sign into Teams and have a look. Now, we've set up a couple of different channels on Teams. If I was able to cast my screen, this would probably work a wee bit better. But on Microsoft Teams, there's a couple of different channels that you can get access to now. So there is a general channel, there's a literacy channel, a maths channel, and an other curricular areas channel. And on that, we're going to be posting the relevant material for each topic. Most of your work you'll find under the files section on that. So if you go on to if you're wanting your literacy activity for that day, go to files, look through, look for the work for this week on Tuesday, and you'll be able to find your literacy activity for that date. And then Wednesday there'll be a new folder there. On Thursday there'll be a new folder there, and we're just going to keep adding to that day on day. So that's the easiest way that that you can access your work. We will be kind of counting on you guys in some cases to do a little bit of self-marking. Now that's not new for you guys. We do a lot of self-marking, self-assessment in class as it is. So at points for some maths activity, for some reading activities, we'll be putting the answer scheme up. So could you cheat? Absolutely. Yeah, you could cheat, but who are you impressing if you do that? There's no one that you're impressing by doing that at all. No one's even seeing your work necessarily in all cases. So please don't cheat. Don't just copy stuff out the answer scheme. Develop your understanding. This is education here. Okay. At the same time, though, for any parents that are watching, looking at kids looking at an answer scheme in and of itself is not necessarily cheating. I actively encourage them at times to look at the answer scheme during a lesson. It's sometimes okay to look ahead at an answer and think, right, okay, how do I get there? If you have a particular calculation that you're doing, you're not quite sure how to do it. Sometimes looking at the answer and then figuring out how to get there is a worthwhile strategy. So it's okay to look at answer schemes if it is helping your learning. If you're just doing it to cheat, well, you really are only cheating yourself in this case. This is not a holiday, so what I would say is try and stick to a schedule over the next while. Make sure that you're getting up and getting dressed every day. Get yourself working. This stuff, if you get yourself into a bad habit of becoming really lazy, you'll find it really hard to readjust to normal life when it comes back around, and you'll just find yourself less motivated to work. So keep in a routine. You can see I've managed to get myself up in my shirt and tie, so you guys should be able to do the same. It keeps you in that routine. Sorry, I'm jumping about on my script here a wee bit, but one of the things that I should have brought up, I've copied and pasted this into the wrong place, but on Microsoft Teams, it's really important that you do not add files yourself. So Miss Lindsay and I were talking about this, and we noticed that a couple of people were already trying to post files in some of those areas. Please do not post files yourself. That is for us to share stuff with you guys. There will be a place possibly down the line for you guys to share some stuff on the class notebook. We'll talk to you about that later down the line. That's not for just now. But at the moment, please don't add files to the file section of the general literacy, maths, or other curricular areas. Another thing is, if you're posting a comment, or let's say you post a question on one of the chat feeds, if you then have the answer to that question, post it as a reply. Don't just keep adding to the bottom of the feed all the time. On Microsoft, oh great, Miss Lindsay's watching. Hi, Miss Lindsay. Make sure that you post a reply, your comment as a reply to the relevant comment above it. Okay, otherwise the feed will just get exponentially longer, and it just gets a bit ridiculous. Okay, so overall, things are going to change over the next while as we learn how to use things better. This whole process, believe me, is just as new to us as it is to you guys. Miss Lindsay and I have been chatting a lot about this, and frankly, we're in unfamiliar territory. I've never had to do this before. This is a weird situation. So give us a little bit of time to adjust. There will be some teething issues. We're expecting that. For the time being, the plan is to be, Teams seems to be a platform that will work quite well, and I'm hoping that will be the thing that we'll continue using as much as we can. I, at the moment, I'm aiming to be live on here 3 times a week. So I'm going to aim for a sort of Monday, Wednesday, Friday sort of thing. And it'll be for the time being at 10 a.m. But again, that may change depending on preferences and that sort of thing. And you may have to put. I've managed to get rid of my kids today for a short while, but I may have to be doing this with a couple of kids that will be uh, intent on interrupting our video at every opportunity. So I'm sorry if that's the case. If you sometimes have to put up with my two crawling all over me, I'll do the best I can in those situations. Um, if you're not able to view this the particular live stream at the time, so some of you, for instance, are just tuning in right now, for example. Um, if you're not able to view the live stream at the time, it should be saved and you can view it all afterwards. Okay, so you can always tune into the live stream after the fact. So, for instance, if I was teaching a particular lesson, it might be possible for some of you guys to join in live and post some of your responses in the chat here, just like you're doing, and that's fantastic. But if you missed the live lesson, you'll still be able to view everything that happened during it. And in fact, in some cases, you'll be at the advantage of being able to pause the video during a lesson if we're doing it like that. So just because you miss the live lesson itself doesn't prevent you from then participating later on. Another wee point, kind of separate to the Microsoft Teams thing, is make sure you're really self-directed over this period. Take the time to try and learn new skills. Be a bit self-sufficient. So we've done a lot of target setting, and that's a skill that should be quite familiar to you by now, and you hopefully have an idea of why target setting is just so important. And that's something you should be trying to maintain. You kind of know what you need to work on. So set yourself regular targets. Say, right, I need to get better at this. I'm going to do it by doing this. So on top of the work that we administer you, be self-sufficient. There's lots of free resources available now, and we'll try and share some of them with you over the coming days. But get online, look for ways of teaching yourself where possible, as well as the teaching that we're doing to you. And in addition to that, practice some extra stuff, like some stuff that you would never normally do, or that we maybe can't always find time for in school. So learn to do a bit of baking or cooking or sewing. Practice video editing. There's any number of other skills that you can kind of teach yourself that are really valuable life skills. Ask your parents' permission to get out a hammer and nails and try and knock something up, like some of us were doing over the last couple of weeks in class. It's a really great opportunity to teach yourself. Okay, I'm skipping over a couple of things here because I feel like I'm rabbiting on quite a lot. Sometimes these will just be question and answer sessions on YouTube. Sometimes it'll be a direct lesson that I'm going into with a theme. It'll really kind of vary. A couple of tips on working from home. It's important to take breaks regularly. Make sure that you are taking breaks. Take that brain break when you need it. Choose a quiet place to study. So I'm in my kitchen at the moment. It's kind of the best I can do. My wife is working directly opposite me right at the moment, but it's a quiet enough place for us to be able to do our jobs. Set yourself manageable goals for every day. Make sure you're avoiding distractions, things like computer games, chatting to friends. That's all good as a reward for good work, but don't just allow yourself to just do whatever you want whenever you feel like it. Use these things as a reward for you completing one of your tasks every day. Remember that your parents can help you. Your parents will be great, but they're more than likely busy with their own work as well. A lot of parents are having to work from home, so do cut them some slack. Like this is a difficult time for your parents as well. Just something to bear in mind there. Above all, and this is kind of what I'm going to sign off with, please keep yourself learning over this period. This really matters. Don't let some virus, something that doesn't even really qualify as a living organism, don't let some virus monopolize your education and your future. We really care about your education. So yeah, please take this seriously. We're doing what we can. Try your hardest. Okay. Right, I'm going to kind of finish off there. Uh, Now, there's been a lot of questions coming. I'm going to kind of go through the chat log here, which I've not really had a chance to read through as it's been going. Most of it's just people saying hi, but there's a couple of questions that have propped up. So, how long are we going to learn every day? We are planning for 3 activities a day. So you will get a clear literacy, maths, and health and well-being lesson. So we're planning for 3 lessons, 3 sessions a day. Obviously, that will vary how long it takes each person, but that's the work that will be made available to you. Other questions were here. How long will the lesson be? I'm guessing that's like these sessions. It will kind of vary. So whenever I'm doing a streaming lesson, how long that will normally be, you know what, how long's a piece of string? It kind of depends what I'm teaching and how well you guys appear to be learning it. So if you're posting stuff in the chat and you're well engaged and I feel like you've got it, can sign off a little bit quicker. If people need a bit more support, then that's fine. But if I'm trying to do an interactive lesson, it'll be about the length of a lesson, whatever that is. Any other questions that are coming up, or I'll give you a minute from now to type a question. I will then try and answer it, and then I'll be signing off. So you got 60 seconds to type a question in. Do you have any work today? No, we don't. So work will be posted this week from tomorrow. Okay, so tomorrow you'll have your work, and you'll be able to check that on the Teams folder in the file section. There's a different literacy, maths, and other curricular area channels. Those channels may be hidden, by the way. So you can all see the general channel that will be up at the top. Underneath it might say something like 3 hidden channels. If it says that, you should be able to click a little button to make it drop back down, and you'll then be able to see the other 3 channels. Freddie's asking, when do you think we will be back in school? I can't answer that. I don't know. I would love us to be able to get back into the classroom as soon as possible, but I really don't know. Will it always be 10 a.m.? Possibly not always. 10 a.m. I figure is a fairly good time, but if that is prohibitive to some people, if there's a lot of people that really can't access it like that, we can maybe look at moving the time on 1 or 2 of the sessions. What are the days you're posting again? At the moment, my intention is a Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Again, these things are subject to change. Like I said, this is really new to me as well, and it will just kind of depend on what works. Like I said, lots of teething issues expected here. Okay, guys, that seems to be the last of the questions, so I'm going to sign off. You guys have a good day, and turn up tomorrow on Microsoft Teams ready to learn. There'll be activities waiting for you. If you have trouble accessing any of them, make sure that you post it in the chat and we can advise you on where to find things. Sorry, someone's just asking, are you going to be posting on your channel or will you all only be going live? I have a backlog of maths videos that I'm going to be working through. Just to answer this one quickly. I had a severe problem with the audio where I'd recorded all these videos and the audio had completely not worked. So I'm having to redo the audio for the whole lot, which is a difficult skill to do, actually. So I'm going to work on that. So there will be some stuff going up on my normal channel. For now, the streaming is my main thing that I'm going to be doing. Anyway, right, signing off now, guys. All the best. Take care today, and don't go outside if you can. Stay in social isolation and find some things to do around the house. Cheers, guys.